Okay, now we'll begin the tutorial to install dual boot on virtual machine. We will install two different ways. For first, we create Windows first and then Linux, and the second, we will install Linux first. So let's get started. Now we click new. This is just the name of the virtual machine you want to create. I will rename it like this and choose the Windows 7 option, then click next. This is the memory, random access memory in your virtual machine. So just next, I will use the default setting, and for the hard drive, the size, I'll take 25 gigs, but for your information, the Windows system takes 5 gigs, around 5 gigs, and the Linux takes around 2 gigs for only the system. So it's better than you add about more than 15 gigs for dual booting, so it will increase. Now open the setting, and then for the storage, in the disk slot, choose the IDE primary master for the CD or DVD drive, because we're going to install both, and then insert the disk, insert your Windows installation disk, and then just run it. Then we will wait. Now the window is loading file. Okay, it will take a while. So this is the option of the virtual machine. Okay, now the setup is preparing. Just choose your language for installation, time, and keyboard method. Just click install now. And the setup is starting, so the Windows will install itself, accept the license terms, yes, and we click custom. So notice that only one hard drive available here, which is the previous setup hard drive, 25 gigs. So just install it there, click next, and the Windows is installing. So this will take a while, so we'll just wait and skip this part. Okay, from the installation until we get into this state, the Windows will reboot 2 times. So now the Windows is ready to use, so we just put a username and just name it by your name, and the password is recommended, but if you leave it blank, it's fine. So but I'll fill it. And the rudder key, we can skip this part, so just click next, and I'll ask later. And the time zone, choose public network for the network if you didn't connect to any internet, because the network is connected from the virtual machine and your own connection here. so just keep public if you don't have any connection. Now the Windows is starting. After this one is completed, we'll start to install Linux. Okay, it's still preparing the desktop. Okay, now the Windows is ready to use. Let's see, it's all working. So now let's just shut it down and install Linux directly. Just log off. So now we're going to install Linux in the same virtual machine, in the same virtual hard drive. Now open the setting again and change the disk. In here you have the Windows disk mount on, and firstly change the CD or DVD drive into secondary master, and then mount the CD. Okay, now it is mounted, and choose the system, click the processor tab. Now there is an extended feature, enable PAE or NX, check the box. Okay, now start it. It will install Linux firstly. Okay, just put install Ubuntu. The installation of the Windows and Ubuntu didn't take more complex thing. It is quite simple, so we just can install it like other people did. No need to export, no need to put more difficult command. Just follow the instruction and your dual booting is completed. Okay, so now we're going to install Ubuntu. I'm using Ubuntu 12.04 version. Now this is the install window of Ubuntu. Choose the language for installation, and I choose English. Continue. Now this is the requirement, at least 4.4 gigs available, because the Ubuntu needs around 2 gigs for the OS. So the third and the second is not really important, so it's not really need to be fulfilled. Then I just click continue. Now this is the different window, because we are installing the Ubuntu as the second, so there is one more option here, install Ubuntu alongside Windows 7, because Windows 7 has already reserved the disk first, so the Windows will provide a space for Ubuntu to install along it. Now we can continue, and this is the partition. You can drag it to allocate driver. So now let's install it. Then choose continue. It's still resizing the partition, it's still creating the partition between the windows. Now it started installing. Now this is the more interactive part of Ubuntu installation. You can choose your domain where you live while the system is installing, so it's not very boring like installing Windows, but later it will take some time, just as the other OS installation. So for now, let's just continue with the default setting. Now insert the user, your account, and different from Windows, the Ubuntu account needs a password, so you cannot leave it blank. You have to fill this. Even though it's very weak password, it's fine as long it is filled. So let's continue. So the password doesn't match. Let's retype the password. Okay, now it's matched. Okay, the account is created while the system is installing. And this will take some while. We can import data from Windows if there is any data. So the file in my documents, my music, my picture, etc., it will be imported here in your account in Ubuntu. But for now, we just have installed Windows just now, so it's still nothing there, but let's check it, but for in case there is a document there. Okay, now this is the same waiting part in all installation. Now we'll have to wait again, so let's just skip this again. So the installation is finished and the system needs to restart. Just click restart now and wait a minute. There will be more requirements there. So we can see this in this line. Please remove installation media and close the tray, if any. And in the media we got the Ubuntu installation disk, so we can remove it from here. Click the devices, CD or DVD drive devices, and choose the host drive F, G or H to empty, and then press enter. So the VirtualBox will restarting, and this is the Grand Unified Bootloader. This is the grub 2 in Ubuntu. It will show all the operating system you have installed in one machine. So this is the Windows 7, and if you want, there is a 4 part of Linux. 2 is memory test, and the 2 is the Ubuntu. The 1 is the original, and the 1 is the recovery mode. So generally this is already done. Your computer is already being dual booted. So let's check the Ubuntu. If it is running, then it will done, and then check the Windows. If both can run, then it means a success. Now Ubuntu is running. Log in with your account. Yes, and then it started now. Okay, the desktop and the system tray is going out. Then the Ubuntu is successfully installed. So let's click to shut down, quick restart. So the grub will comes out again. Now check the Windows 7. This way is quite simple. So install Windows first and then install Ubuntu if you want to dual boot. Not only Ubuntu, if you want to dual boot Windows with any other OS, just install. I recommend install Windows first, because Windows will override all the other OS in your system. So now let's install this, and let's log in and check. Now the welcome sound is already played. Now it's still loading. Yes, and the Windows is running, means the dual booting has success. Now after this we will try the second way, to install Linux first and Ubuntu and then Windows. So let's open the setting. First, it is the same configuration. So the disk installed the Ubuntu first, and the CD is the primary master because it is installed first. Then just start the machine. The installation process is still the same for Ubuntu. Now we'll skip this part. Now the installation windows is starting. Now the installation is just the same, but this is the different. If we don't have any operating system installed in the hard drive, it will be only two options. Here is this and install Ubuntu. So this is what you do when you're doing the common installation, and this is where you can partition the disk for yourself, since we're going to install it as usual. So we choose the erase disk and install Ubuntu and then click continue. So now this is the size of the hard drive. Continue, then install now. The Ubuntu will be installed. So this is the same part as later. It's the same part as before. So let's just skip this part. Okay, now the installation is complete. Now let's restart as usual, and then remove the tray first. Press enter, and it will start the Ubuntu. After we check that the Ubuntu is complete, now we need to start the Windows. Let's try to install the Windows after this. Just enter the password. and we're logging in. So the Ubuntu is now running, the only OS running in your device. Now let's shut down and try to install the Windows. I will use the same CD since I've only got 2 CDs, one for Ubuntu and one for Windows 7. Now start it, open the setting again, change the disk. Don't forget to change the CD or DVD drive in the secondary master, and then choose the Windows disk. Check the processor, it's checked, and then let's start it. Now it is written to press any key to boot from the DVD, enter. So because we want to boot from the Windows installation disk, now the Windows is loading its files. This is the pre-installed Ubuntu ways to install dual boot. Now choose your language for installation, choose your time format and keyboard method, then click install now. And then just check it. Next, we still click custom, and now we see there is 2 partitions of the hard drive: the virtual hard drive from Ubuntu, because Ubuntu needs 2 hard drive. The Ubuntu installation use the main hard drive for the system and will require a little bit, around 500 megs for the swap area, but both of these cannot be used by Windows. See, this is the swap area because it is logical. Windows must be installed to a partition format as NTFS, and both of these, either this partition 1 or 2, not NTFS type. It is system and logical, so the Windows cannot install here. So we're trying to cancel the installation first. So now the trick is how to make an NTFS version of the installer. Now I recommend using a gported. It's usually on the Linux, so if you have a gport on your Ubuntu, just run your Linux and take gported. But I will take a disk, a live CD. I will load it here, the gported live CD. So we're going to partition the disk outside the OS. Now this is the disk live CD. Choose the gported live default setting. Now the gported is starting. It's configuring itself. Okay, now this is the configuration. Choose don't touch key map because it will change your keyboard. Choose language, I'm choosing British English number 2. And the mode, choose the 0 and then enter. Now this is the Gparted. So here we are. Our virtual hard drive is size 25 gigs, right? And the 24 gigs, 24.5, is already used by Ubuntu with the file system is ext4, and the Linux use a swap disk, need a swap disk around here, the brown one, about 500 megs. So how do we get space for Windows installation? We need to resize the most big. This is the biggest, and we resize it about a half probably. So I give the Ubuntu about around 8 gigs, so the Windows can use more. Now this is the unallocated, but the unallocated hard drive still cannot be installed by Windows because it still reads as unknown in Windows. So we have to change this. Just right click on it, click new. If you want to use all, just takes all, and the important is change the file system. Windows only reads the NTFS file system, so we choose NTFS, but I will reduce it only 10 because the Windows only need around 5 gigs, so 10 will be enough. Around 10 gigs, I'll click add. So now this is the NTFS, this is the Linux and the unallocated. After it's done, click apply, and we wait again, waiting for the operation. File system is being shrunk. This is the live CD of the Gparted, but you can use it in your Linux probably if you have one installed on Linux, but the user interface of the Gparted will be still the same, and the operation is also the same, will be like this. The window, the steps, as long it is Gparted, it will use same steps, so don't worry. The file system is being shrunk. And it will take some time because it will be shrunk from 24 gigs to 7 gigs, about 8 gigs here. If you want to see the details, this is the details of the operation. So the shrinking device is completed and create primary partition is complete, and close it. Close the Gparted and then restart the machine. before we start it, load the mount the Windows disk first. Okay, after it mounted, we can start it again. Now press any key to boot from CD or DVD, press enter. Now we're running through this again. There is false here. We can shut down. Let's check the setting. Okay, now Windows is loading its files. The installation will be the same step, but there's only a few things I need to explain about the changes we made earlier. Now the installation windows is starting. And now, as usual, choose your language for installation, choose your time and currency format and the keyboard method, and install now. Okay, now setup is loading files. Accept the license term, next. Click custom as usual. So here we see the disk. There is 4 disks. This is the Linux system, the Ubuntu, and this is the NTFS system. See, we can install here. We can click next, and this is the unallocated space. Let it be. This is logical, so we install on the NTFS system. There's the type is primary. You can install it there. Now the installation is just the same. The Windows will be reboot 2 times until it can be started. So we can skip this part again. Now the Windows installation is going to complete. And when the booting in this installation, you will see the press any key to boot from CD or DVDs. Just don't press anything because we want the Windows to install. Now the setup will continue after restarting your computer. This is the second boot. So don't press anything when this shows up. Now we'll just wait. The Windows is starting. Now the Windows is starting. Just type your account and just skip the password and the product key. Skip. Click next. Choose the public network, and the Windows is starting. So after this, we're going to reboot again the machine, and let's see what happened. Okay, so the Windows is preparing the desktop for the first use. Now the Windows is starting. You just have this shutdown and we'll start again to check if it is success or not. Okay, now firstly remove the disk. Or you can use boot from hard disk first. It's all the same, but leave this option for now. We're going to start the machine first. So as we can see, there is no Grand Unified bootloader or group like the Ubuntu earlier. So the Windows is take over the booting. So where's the Ubuntu? It is actually still there in your system, in your hard drive, but the booting is override by Windows. Windows takes control of all. And how can we fix this? It's quite easy. There is a few ways, but I will only try to explain with the boot repair. It will be shown later. So now we just shut down the machine. It is already started. Just power the machine. You can run boot repair from the Linux, or you can take the CD, the live CD like departed before. We take the boot repair CD, boot repair disk. This is also the live CD, so we can booting using the CD and repair the boot. To get the disk, we can download it from here, soundforce.net/project/boot-repair-cd/files, and choose. Now we just get started trying to boot from this. Okay, the boot repair disk is here. Use 32-bit session. Now the boot repair is loading. Just leave it. Wait. It probably takes a while. Okay, now the boot repair disk is starting. So now this is the boot repair option. For now, just use the recommended repair. If you want to create a boot info summary, it is an option where you can save your problem to a file, probably a log file, and you post it in the forum to get help from others. So now we use the recommended repairs. Now we can see there is reinstall group SDA, group update. So the problem is actually the Ubuntu is still there, but the bootloader is overridden by Windows. So we need to connect to the internet. And actually you need to connect the internet, just click continue and the boot repair is done. You can now reboot your computer. Click OK. Or just shut it down. Now first remove the CD. Now start the machine again. And here we are. The crop version of Ubuntu is showed again, so we can double boot from Windows, from dual boot from Windows or Ubuntu. Okay, I think it's all completed. Let's see if the Ubuntu is fine, and then it's all done. So let's check the Ubuntu, and it is starting smoothly. It means that we have made our virtual machine a dual boot system with Windows and Ubuntu operating system. That is all from me. Hope this can help. Thank you.